I just watched 5 people confess how they feel about credit card debt and how much credit card debt they are in. And I hate to say it, but almost none of them are going to fix it. And that's not because they're in too deep or they have too much debt. It's because almost every single one of them is reaching for a shortcut instead of changing their money habits and changing the thing that put them where they are. So today we're going to watch all 5 of these TikTokers, and I'm going to pause after each one and I'm going to show you what to do instead. I feel like credit card debt is one of the most normal types of debt that there is. I feel like nobody blinks at it anymore. Americans are carrying about $1.25 trillion in credit card debt right now, and that's up almost 6% from a year ago. Most of them didn't get there from just like one big reckless purchase. I feel like credit card debt really creeps in over time. Maybe you lost a job or you have one rough month. Maybe you're hit with a car repair that is the same week as a vet bill, and the credit card is just right there. So you use it, then you use it again. And one day you look up and the balance has a life of its own. If you've ever felt a feeling of dread before you check your credit card statement, this video is for you. Now, I'm not here to make you feel stupid. I promise I'm not. I have been the person crying on the floor about money. I am here to show you the way out. Real quick, hi, I'm Allison. My husband and I paid off over $111,000 of debt on 2 teacher salaries. We were not making a fortune. We did it with a budget and a plan, and honestly, just a lot of boring, repetitive habits. So when I react to these 5 confessions, I'm not talking down to anybody. I have been there. Now, before I went off to college, the summer before I left for college, my mom looked at me and said, "Do not get a credit card." That was it. I'm sure she explained why, but the only part that stuck for me was, do not get a credit card. They are bad. So I get to campus and there are tables everywhere. Sign up for a credit card, get a free t-shirt, get a free pizza, free everything. And I feel like every single one of my friends were signing up. And I was standing there terrified, thinking, no, mom said these are bad. I cannot do it. Now, I didn't realize it until years later, but I am so thankful. I am so thankful because I did not have the discipline back then. If someone had handed 18, 19-year-old me a credit card, I would have spent on it. I know that because I watched my friends do exactly that. The credit card was never the problem. The habits were the problem. And that is the thread running through all 5 of these videos. Let's look at the first one.
Yo, I never realized how much you could buy on a credit card. Guys, free money?
Not free money.
Everyone needs to go get a credit card.
Okay, I really hope she is being a little sarcastic, but I promise you, this is exactly how the feeling starts when it comes to credit cards. That first time you use it, it feels like free money. You wanted the item, you tapped the card, you got the thing, nothing bad happened. So your brain files it away as, hey, that worked. But here's what a credit card actually is. A credit card is not money you have. It is money you are borrowing. And it is the most expensive money that most people will ever borrow. For people who actually carry a balance, the average rate right now is over 22%, the average interest rate. That means that a $1,000 balance you carry is not $1,000. You don't owe $1,000. You owe $1,000 plus a fee that renews every month. You do not pay it off. So the fix here is a mindset fix first. Every time you reach for the card, ask yourself one question. Do I actually have this money in my checking account right now? If the answer is no, that is not free money. It's not free money even if the answer is yes. But that is a loan you're choosing to take out at 22, 26, 29%. Because watch what happens when you keep believing that credit cards are free money. This next one made my jaw drop.
I don't know why people complain about being in debt because this is the happiest I've ever been. Basically, I got an infinite money glitch hack, and what I do is after I spend all the money in my checking, I use my credit card and I max it all out. And by the time it's maxed out, I'm getting paid again. So I just pay off the debt and I go back into debt, and it's like infinite money glitch. And the reason why this makes me so happy is because I can afford hair, nails, like new clothes all the time Like, this is the best.
Oh my goodness, I have so much to say about this one because this is not an infinite money glitch. This is just a countdown to a lot of credit card debt. Here's what's actually happening for this girl. She spends her whole paycheck, then she floats the rest of the month on credit cards. Then payday comes and the check goes straight to the card, which means that she starts the new month, the upcoming month, already behind. She is living on money she has not earned yet. And this feels fine. It feels like some sort of money hack right up until the moment that it does not. The day the card does not get paid off in full. Even once that interest starts in, it kicks in. Now she is paying that 20+% on top of a life she was barely affording at 0%. I truly like one missed month here, and the glitch she has found just becomes a huge hole. So what do you do if this is you? You need a buffer between you and that card, even a small buffer. When we first started, the first thing we built was a little cushion in our checking account so we could stop needing our credit card to get from one paycheck to the next. That one change, like that small thing right there, breaks the cycle of relying on your credit card. And that credit card stops being this bridge you live on to get you to the next month. Now, so far, these two have been kind of funny. This next one, honestly, it just stopped being funny for me really fast.
I owe $83,000 on my Amex Platinum card, which isn't bad at all, but I also owe $6.7K on my food and gas card, which I'm going to pay off $4.4 right now. And that leaves me to a total balance of $85K that I still owe Amex altogether, which isn't bad at all. And I'm going to go shopping tomorrow.
$85,000 in credit card debt. And 3 times she said, that isn't bad at all. And now she's gonna go shopping tomorrow. I'm really trying hard not to judge her. And honestly, it's not really judgment. I am worried. I am worried for her. Because this mindset that I can just have all this credit card debt and I'll make a payment and then I'll go shopping, it is dangerous. I really think that this is denial by comparison. As long as she can tell herself that it's not that bad, she never has to change, ever. In my book, Money Made Easy, I talk about a night in college when my mom sat down next to me on the floor with a calculator and my bank statements, and she made me total up everything I had spent for 2 months. I'm talking eating out, clothes, pedicures, all of it. And I was in complete shock. That was one of the most, honestly embarrassing and shameful nights of my life. But it was also the night everything started to change because I finally saw the real number. I knew my spending habits, I knew how much money I had, and I knew what needed to change. So if you don't want to feel like this last person, I want you to say your number out loud. Like, how much debt do you have? Write down every credit card and exactly what you owe on each one, down to the cent. The next video we're going to talk about actually does. And when you do that, when you list out all of your debt, it's gonna suck. It's gonna feel awful for about 10 minutes. And then for the first time, you're gonna realize that you're dealing with something real instead of something that you're scared of and you're not really sure how bad it is. And that brings me to the 2 confessions that I actually want to teach on the most, because these next 2 are not necessarily mindset mistakes. They are strategy mistakes. And they are the ones that I see good, smart, well-meaning people make all the time.
I am absolutely buzzing because I just deposited my 401k. Yeah. I deposited my 401k because I took it all out so that I could pay off my credit cards because your girl was drowning. I was drowning in credit card debt because I had lost my job when I was traveling Europe. So I had to put everything on my credit cards and I just couldn't do it anymore. Literally crying to my friend. I was like, what do I do? Do I file bankruptcy? Do I take out a personal loan? I just don't want to pay anybody back. That was the whole goal is to just be done with this. I just don't know what to do. She's like, wait, you still have a 401k from Warner when we worked there, because we worked at Warner together. And I was like, yeah, why? And she's like, pull it out. She's like, take that shit out and pay it. She's like, you know that you're going to get a job soon again. And you're just aggressively put into your 401k then. And I was like, you're brilliant. Because I'm when I pay my credit cards off, I can just put it back into a 401k. Because I was paying $1,300 a month in credit card debt. That's a minimum, mind you. So I literally was not even making a goddamn dent with the $1,300. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Literally can't do it. It's not worth it. Pulled out my 401k and I just deposited the check, and I literally feel like I can breathe. I just feel so happy because now I feel like I can like live my life and really not make money just to pay off debt that isn't even getting paid off because of the fucking interest rate. This is just what I've done that feels good to me, was to take out my 401k. It's an option. I feel like rich people do this all the time, so like why are we not talking about it more? And I hate that people don't talk about debt enough because everyone has it nowadays. Everyone. I just feel so excited. Yeah! Shout out to my friend who like told me about this because I didn't even think about it. So yay!
Okay, first, I feel for her. I do. She was paying $1,300 a month towards her credit card, and I'm sure that the interest was taking a lot of it. That is a terrible, awful, no good, very bad place to be. I get it. And the relief in her voice, like I can tell she's really relieved, which is great. But I have to be honest with you about this move, this cashing out her 401k. It is costing her money. And I honestly just think it's a shortcut and a way to not really deal with the consequences of your actions. Now, let's be fair about this. The pro is obvious. The high interest debt is gone today. Like all of her 401k covered it. That 20+% stops immediately. And the mental relief, like you can see, she is so relieved, is huge. And I get why this feels like such a brilliant, amazing idea. But there is a big price to pay for this, and it's bigger than what it looks. When you pull money out of your 401k early, you usually get hit twice. There is typically a 10% penalty, and then the whole amount gets taxed as income on top of that. Depending on your tax bracket, you can lose anywhere from about a quarter to nearly half of what you pull out just to taxes and the penalty. So to wipe out $10,000 of debt, you might have to pull out far more than $10,000 to cover it. And then there is the part that most people don't even realize because it's something that hasn't, like you couldn't even think about it yet, right? It feels invisible. That money in her 401k was going to grow for 20, 30, 40 years. And when you take it out at such a young age, you're not just losing the balance, you are losing everything it could have become by the time you are 60. And that is the most expensive mistake here. And it doesn't just show up on your statement. It is the loss of what this money could have done for her future that was not realized yet. So is it ever the right call, right? Is it ever okay to cash out your 401k to pay off debt? In very rare cases, for someone truly drowning, maybe it would be a good call. But for almost everyone watching this, no, it's not the best call because it is a trap. If you cash out the 401k, but you never fix the spending habits that allowed you to get into this credit card debt, you end up with no retirement savings and a brand new credit card that could easily have this debt come on again. You just paid a penalty to stay exactly where you were. So what should you do instead? Before you ever touch retirement money, you attack the debt with a real payoff plan and a budget, which is the same lesson as our last confession, who reached for just a different shortcut. Let's look at our last debt confession.
My name's Lindsey. I'm in charge of the family finances and I've done a bad job and I'm admitting my sins right now. Okay, we're just gonna start with the credit cards. I'm really nervous. At the top of the list is Apple. I owe $9,005.39. Next on the list, we have my Amex card, $1,472.73. I hope you heard it. I'm going to write it on the screen, but I'm sweating. Mind you, I just paid that one off last month. My Amazon card, $526.78. None of it was spent on Amazon. And I just paid that one off last month too. Okay, moving on to the debts that I accrued the last time I said I was going to get out of debt. You should get a debt consolidation loan, and it'll pay off all of your credit cards, boost your credit score, and you'll pay it at a lower interest rate. And I said, that sounds like a great idea. So on that loan, I still owe $23,000.64. Okay, next we have our cars. So on the Rogue that we've had for a long time, we still owe money. So we still owe $4,774.49. We bought that one like 7 years ago. On the van, which we bought last year, we still owe $21,078.16. And then on top of that, we have our student loans. So I owe $33,302.61, and my husband owes $33,159. All of this for a whopping grand total of $126,383.16. This is going to be a really embarrassing channel for a while. So if you want to feel really good about yourself and watch me either pay off this debt or get more in debt, because that's what I like to do apparently, follow along.
Okay, first, Lindsey, I think you're doing great. You're doing the exact thing that you need to be doing. You are naming every number down to the cents, and you're doing it on camera, which takes a lot of courage. So watch closely, because Lindsey is living out the most important lesson in this whole video. She paid off 2 cards last month, and she is already carrying a balance on them again. Plus, she owes $23,000 on a consolidation loan she took out the last time she tried to get out of debt. So now she has the loan and the credit card debt. So she's in a worse off situation than before she consolidated her debt. Let's talk about debt consolidation, like the nitty gritty, because a lot of people online will tell you it's a trap. I don't think it's a trap. Debt consolidation is when you take one new loan at a lower interest rate and use it to pay off all of your, let's say, credit cards. On paper, it's a great idea. You get a lower rate, you have one payment instead of 5. That is a real advantage. And for the right person, it is actually a really good plan. But here is the con, and it is the one that got Lindsey. Choosing to consolidate your debts does not change your spending habits. It just moves the debt from one place to a new place, and it leaves you with a stack of empty credit cards. And an empty card in the hands of someone who has not built the discipline with credit cards is an invitation to continue to spend on it the same way they were doing before. I watched this happen to someone in my Inspired Budget inner circle before she joined. She got a consolidation loan, she paid off her cards, and then she kept using them because the discipline was not there yet, and she was not paying them off in full each month. So now she has the consolidation loan and the credit card debt all over again, exactly like Lindsey, the TikTok we just watched. So here's my rule. I think that debt consolidation can work, but only after you have fixed the behavior. If you are still using the cards to get through the month, a consolidation loan will not save you. It will just give you more debt to tack on to your life. Fix the habits first. Then, if the numbers make sense, use the consolidation loan as a tool to speed up your debt payoff progress. So if the shortcuts are not the answer, what is? Every single person in this video was missing the same 3 steps. And these 3 steps are what actually got us out of over $111,000 of debt without making a fortune. Here they are. Step 1. Face it. Write down every credit card debt you have, the exact balance, just like Lindsey did, right? We don't want any fuzzy numbers. You cannot beat what you will not look at. Step 2, stop feeding it. Build a small buffer in your checking account, and get on a budget so that way the credit card stops being the way that you survive the month. This is the step that everyone skips, and it's the one that actually breaks the cycle. The debt, your credit card debt, cannot shrink while you are still adding to it. So basically, stop using your credit card, stop adding on to that balance so that way you can focus on spending money that you actually have in your checking account and pay off that debt. Then step 3, pick your debt payoff plan. It's time to choose your method. How are you going to pay this debt off? You can pay off the smallest balance first to get that momentum, or you can focus on the highest interest rate first to save the most money. This is the point where a tool like a debt consolidation loan might make sense, because now you have the habits in place to not fall into more debt. Notice that not one of these 3 steps is a shortcut or a hack. There is no pulling money from a 401k, no glitch, no magic loan. It's boring, and boring is exactly why it works. Here's what I want you to take away from these 5 people. Every single one of them felt like the number was the enemy, but it's not. The number is just information. The real work is in the habits underneath it, and habits are the one thing you can actually change. If 5 strangers can talk about their debt out loud on the internet, you can face yours in private tonight. You're not behind, you're not bad with money. This is your starting point. And I have watched thousands of people, including me, start from a much scarier number than they thought they could handle and pay the whole thing off. You can be next. So if you are ready to do step 1 tonight, I made you something. It is my free goodbye debt tracker. It is the exact spreadsheet I wish we had whenever we started. You put in every card and balance, and it shows you your payoff plan and your progress as the number goes down. It is completely free, and the link is in the description below. Go grab it, face your number, and let's get you out of this for good. And if you like this video, you're going to love my video all about how to pay off credit card debt fast. It is the exact step-by-step plan behind everything we just talked about. I will link to it right here for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.